So Friday the 13th. This was a game that I think people generally consider to be bad. I've always kind of liked the game. Like, this was a rental game for me at one point, and I liked it enough after renting it that I had to buy it. So clearly I didn't think it was a terrible game at the time. When I think about it, I could not design a game that better recreated the Friday the 13th movie experience on the NES. I mean, maybe you could, but it would be hard. And the idea of, like, you have different counselors that are, trying to protect the kids from Jason and running into him, and you go into the woods and you find Jason's mother's severed head and all that stuff. It all kind of works. And I know, like, the soundtrack is really short, but it's actually very, very fitting. And, like, the whole key to winning the game, like, everyone complains how hard it is. The key is just to never get into one of those first person fights with Jason, right? You can win pretty easily if you stick to the side scrolling fights. For this week, I went and watched a speed run, and that's the strategy in the speed run. It's like, you find out what cabin Jason is in. Don't fight him in the cabin. And then when you exit, you'll fight him in the side scrolling view, and you'll be able to take a lot of damage off him. The composer, so I mentioned the soundtrack being really short. The composer for this game worked on Bonk's Adventure. He didn't do the entire soundtrack for Bonk's Adventure, but did some of the tracks. So, it's not a bad game composer by any stretch. And yeah, I really like watching the speed runs for this. At this point, I like watching speed runs better than playing the game. I was pretty good at the game back in the day. I'm not so great at it right now. And then I watched some play of the ZX Spectrum C64 version, and it's really different game entirely. The only thing that's kind of similar is that it's a lot of, like, visiting around the campsite and going to different buildings and visiting campers. Like, that part's similar, but the rest of the game isn't really anything like the NES version. So what about you? What's your impression of Friday the 13th?
Yeah, I am horrible at this game. I only played it for a few minutes this time around, but like you, I watched kind of a walkthrough video and some speedruns, and I think I had more fun watching the speedruns, and that's not a bad thing. I also think, this game was this game has a much worse rep than it should. If they were to make a different Jason game, it just would have been Splatterhouse. Like, I can't think of any other formats for Friday the 13th other than those two, really. Like, you're either Jason and it's Splatterhouse, or you're not and it's this, Yeah, I think I need to spend more time with this one, though. I do remember as a kid renting this and being disappointed, but it seems like one of those games you do appreciate more when you're an adult. Yeah, any other thoughts on that one?
No, that's about it, man. Like I said, I actually legitimately like the game, and I guess, like you, I enjoy the speedruns more than playing it at this point.